Living with mom and dad.
Here we go. 3, 2, 1.
Boom! And welcome to the Big Honker Podcast. Today, brought to you by Boss Shot Shells. Go and get the Dove loads at bosshotshells.com. I am Jeff Stanfield with the world famous Andy Shaver.
We are a mere 10 weeks away from kicking everything back off. Dove season is next for us, obviously. So check them out. Price is going to be comp. I mean, it's going to be kind of rock bottom prices on these Dove loads, right?
The Dove loads are going to be equal to everybody else's Dove loads, except it only takes one. If you hit it, it's dead. And believe it or not, I see a lot of guys hit a dove 2-3 times before they actually kill it.
Right.
This will kill it. So anyways, dove hunting is if you've never experienced real Texas dove hunting, and it's not just Texas, a lot of places have it, but we use the spinners. It's just like going and shooting ducks, basically. I mean, you don't have to call them. You don't have to hide as much, but they come right to the decoys.
No, you don't have to hide at all.
It's a good time. It's a really, really good time. So check it out. Go check them out at bosshotshells.com.
Okay. My event that happened today. I don't really know how to describe this. It's a once in a lifetime type of deal. I've never heard of another story like this. You got to think Lizzie Borden.
Someone killed their parents.
On a smaller scale.
Someone only killed one parent.
That's what I'm saying. This is a bit, but once I tell you, you'll be like, oh yeah, that.
No, give me some more. Give me a little bit more headway here.
I can't. A wife was upset with her husband.
Lane Bobbit.
Lorena Bobbit. Lorena Bobbit. Today is the day.
Upset with her husband. Yeah, that's a good term to use.
Well, I couldn't really think of anything else. And Lizzie Borden, I kind of because I read
a little bit different type situation.
It is, but chopping shit off. So today is the day that poor John Wayne Bobbit lost every man's favorite appendage. He was asleep in bed. Lorena Bobbit, in the middle of the night, goes into the kitchen, gets an 8-inch carving knife, flings the coverage back, and lops off his penis. And then proceeds to ride around town with it. She realized that driving with one hand and holding the severed appendage in the other was causing her to swerve on the road, so she ditched it outside of a 7-Eleven parking lot.
And then they sewed it back on. He became a porn star.
He did become a porn. That was my next thing, is like a porn star loses his penis, but he wasn't a porn star at the time. So Lorena Bobbit was an Ecuadorian immigrant. She claims that her husband, John, a former bouncer and U.S. Marine, had raped her that night. But what she told the police when they arrested her was that John always orgasms and he never thinks of me. I will get the quote right here. It says right here, he always have orgasm. He doesn't wait for me ever to have orgasm. He is selfish. That is in the police records at the time that she was arrested.
Is that a doable defense for her?
So this goes to trial. Both things go to trial. The allegations of sex go to trial, and her lopping off his penis. They're in separate trials. Both of them were acquitted of the charges. So evidently not orgasming in bed was a good enough defense. I think that, coupled with the allegation of rape, even though he was not convicted of rape.
So there was no so that was the end of it?
She goes to trial for that. She's acquitted. She sues him for the rape or whatever, and then he is also acquitted.
Didn't they get back together?
No, I think this pretty well ended. John's penis was found after an exhaustive search and had been washed with antiseptic and packed in a saline ice packet. 9.5 hours later, he's got his penis back on. And then he goes on, like you said, he goes on to star in 2 pornographic films in the 1990s. John also, he's got a big problem with losing his appendages. He's also lost all 10 toes. So when he was in the Marines, he was stationed at Camp Lejeune.
I hope he didn't drink the water.
Well, he claims that being in the water he's got something. After this, he started a couple porn movies, and then he becomes a contractor, steps on a nail, and like the wounds in his feet never healed, and it's caused him to lose all 10 toes. So he's got a problem with keeping his appendages attached to him. Let me see here if I can see anything. Yeah, I mean, basically, she got off. She spent 45 days in a nut house, and then that was kind of it. She got off on temporary insanity.
I just can't believe you can cut off someone's pecker and you don't have that you didn't have no jail cell. I mean, jail time for that.
Well, temporary insanity. I don't know.
It was damn sure insane.
I don't know what to tell you. So that happened today. Also, the Teflon Don was sentenced to life in prison. Okay. My person that born today, she overcomes polio as a young child.
Wilma Rudolph.
Yes. That's gone. I gave you too many.
The polio thing I know because
too many hints.
You know why? I used to hear about that when I was little all the time.
She overcame polio.
Yeah, my mom used to say that I don't know why.
Don't know.
But I knew who Wilma Rudolph was as a little kid.
Yeah.
I don't know why my mom used it, but I used to hear that all the time about if Wilma Rudolph can overcome polio and go to the Olympics, then by God.
Okay. Well, I didn't realize this was a thing in your house. She was only a sophomore or junior in high school the first time she ran in the Olympics. So Wilma Rudolph overcame polio as a child, went on to become a world record holding Olympic champion, an international sports icon in track and field, following her successes in the 1956 and 1960s Olympic Games. She competed in the 200-meter dash and won a bronze medal in the 4x100 relay at the 1956 Olympics, and she also won 3 gold medals in the 200-meter dash, is what we call them here in Texas, and the 4x100-meter relay, which is also what we call the sprint relay, at the 1960s Olympics in Rome. She was acclaimed as the fastest woman in the world in the 1960s. She became the first American woman to win 3 gold medals in track and field during a single Olympic Games. So, like I said, she, at 14 years old, she was invited to join the summer training program at Tennessee State by a man named Ed Temple. He spotted her playing basketball, actually, recruited her to come to Tennessee State. And then in the 1956 Olympics, she was only 16 years old. She was a junior in high school.
Very impressive.
She attended the qualifying and everything. She qualified to compete in the 200-meter individual, and then she was also on the sprint relay, 4x100 meter. And then she goes on 1960s Olympics. She kills it, and then accolades come after that. Rudolph ran the finals in the 100-meter dash. What do you think her time was?
I don't know girls stuff. I'm going to say 1100. 11 seconds.
11 seconds on the dot. The record-setting time was not credited as a world record because of the wind at 2.7
miles per hour.
Kilometers. Meters per second.
Okay.
So
it was wind aided.
I guess. I don't know how all that works.
Kind of ticky tacky.
Yeah, you know, we're splitting hairs here. So anyway, that is my person that was born today. My guy that died today. Everybody knows this fella. He was. You'll get it.
Just give me some more. I like this.
Okay.
One. And I think our listeners like trying to guess too.
He started out as a bingo announcer at 15 years old.
Okay, I'm stumped now.
Okay. Let me get to that.
I'm not a big bingo guy.
Well, I understand. He worked 3 years as a carnival baker in Mexico, Maine, which we have been to or been by.
No, we've been to Mexico, New York.
Oh.
That's where we were at by Sodas Point.
15 years
I
old.
mean, you may have been to Mexico.
Well,
man,
I
but
just
don't even know.
thought I remember seeing the sign.
You did.
As a 15-year-old, he became a bingo caller in the state. He put himself through college as a pitchman for a vegetable slicer on the Atlantic Boardwalk. His first job in broadcasting was in Lowell, Massachusetts, and then he launched his television career in Philadelphia.
Kurt Gowdy.
Nope. He became a Marine Corps fighter pilot. Served in World War II and the Korean War. And then he went to Boston University on the GI Bill. No. I take that back. He went to the Catholic University of America in Washington, D.C.
It's not hard to sell. Gosh almighty. So, okay, it's World War I and
World War II and the Korean
War. As a what?
He, as an officer in the Marine Corps Reserves, McMahon was recalled to active duty.
McMahon, you just gave it away.
Fuck, I'm sorry.
But I was fixing to guess him because Don Rickles always referenced him. He was a pretty badass when he was younger. I was gonna guess that when you said McMahon.
Fucker.
But yeah, but that's
I was just reading and didn't omit that.
I just had read that just recently about him though. Not that part of it. I didn't know all that other stuff, but I knew that he was a pilot.
Yeah. So he started out as a bingo caller. McMahon had hoped to become a United States Marine Corps fighter pilot. Prior to the U.S. entry in World War II, both the Army and the Navy required pilot candidates to have attended at least 2 years of college. McMahon studied at Boston University from 1940 to 1941. He stated on the Howard Stern Show in 2001 that after Pearl Harbor was attacked, the college requirements remained in effect and he still had to go finish his 2 years. So even though we were in the midst of a world war, we still wanted at least 2 years. After completing the college requirements, McMahon began his primary flight training in Dallas, probably at Meacham, wouldn't it be?
No, that's in Fort Worth.
Oh. Well, maybe they don't know. This was followed by fighter training in Pensacola, where he was also earned his carrier landing qualification and was designated a naval aviator. He was a Marine Corps flight instructor in F-4U Corsair fighters.
Yeah.
For 2 years, finally being ordered to the Pacific Fleet in 1945. However, the orders were canceled after the atomic bomb attacks on Hiroshima and Nagasaki. Then he was recalled in the Korean War. He flew a total of 85 combat missions. He earned 6 air medals. After the war, he remained in the Marine Corps Reserves, and then he retired in 1966 as a colonel. So, pretty badass guy.
He was.
Then he goes on. He becomes the voice. This is what I was going to say. He becomes the voice of Johnny Carson, with the famous "Here's Johnny," and then stumbled upon some tougher times later in life. He was married in 1945, and he stayed married with this lady, Elise Farrell. The couple had 4 children. They were separated in 72 and finally divorced in 74. McMahon would then go on to marry Victoria Valentine in 76. They adopted their daughter, Catherine Mary, in 85. The couple divorced in 1989. McMahon paid $50,000 per month in spousal and child support. 1992, 3 months before the Tonight Show run came to a close, he was then again married to 37-year-old Pamela Hearn, who he had a son with named Alex. His daughter Catherine served as the best person at the wedding. Then the financial problems start. In 2008, it was announced that McMahon was $644,000 behind on payments on his $4.8 million mortgage for his Beverly Hills mansion. Do you know who offered to buy his estate and let him live in it?
I know this. Be one of his old buddies from Arsenio Hall, I'm gonna guess.
Donald Trump.
I'll be damned.
Donald Trump offered to buy the McMahon estate and then just have McMahon lease it from him so that his house would not be foreclosed on. McMahon declined that, and he agreed to a deal with a private buyer. That falls through. Legend says that Trump renewed his offer to purchase the home. Trump never followed through. according to that. So whatever. That is according to his daughter, Claudia. Trump never followed through with either of his public offers to purchase a residence. Let's see what else it says here. He owed a lot of money to divorce attorneys, divorced 3 times, owed $250,000 to divorce attorneys. Then 2002, he sues the company that had redone his house. They said that they let in toxic mold. They settled out of court for $7.2 million. But that was in 2003. He didn't come into money troubles until 2008. So I don't know what he did with that $7.2 million that he was awarded. He had a fall in 2008, and he sues that nursing home claiming elder abuse. And then he finally dies in 2009. Said he died comfortably, according to the nurses. He was 86 years old. That's what's crazy. So Wilma Rudolph dies at 54 years old due to brain cancer. Yeah, 54 years old. She dies from brain cancer. An Olympic gold medalist, just a freak of nature. And you got Ed McMahon. He was a badass in the Korean War. 86 years he gets. So I don't know what to tell you.
So you're trying to justify this deal about why people live and die?
I don't know what to tell you about working out.
Well, I think Ed was quite the drinker, too. Maybe he pickled himself.
Might have been. So anyway, that is Ed McMahon. That's all I got. Wilma Rudolph, Ed McMahon, and poor John Wayne Bobbitt lost his dick. He got it back, though, but he didn't get his toes back. So anyway, that's June 23rd. We love you. Bye. Watch for deer.
Thanks. Peace. Goodbye. God bless you.